What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Join Dota League EU Division 1-2. Both these two teams coming in from Division 2, and they will try to get into Division 1. And I would say both these two teams, if they were to get in Division 1, would stand quite the fighting chance here on HeflaTV 1. We're going to be bringing you this best of 3. I'm Mikelorus, and I believe for the first time, going to be joined by Danelie. How are you doing?
I'm actually doing pretty well. I kind of had to drop out from the previous Southeast Asian division for Join Dota League, so I'm actually really excited to do the Vega Squadron D2A versus Flipside. So I think this is the first time I'm going to be casting these teams, but are we going to be seeing some, you could say, out of character Dota? Something a little bit different? This is going to be a very important game for both teams.
Yeah, it surely is. It is only game 1, so it's not like anything's on the line just yet, and this is upper bracket as well, so if they do lose, it's not the end of the world, but Vega Squadron just very recently picked up Screen, who's currently drafting for them, and he loves Tusk a lot. I don't know if, like, what would be different here would be different in Southeast Asia, since he sees some pretty wild stuff there, but I'm holding out for a Tusk, and I think with Screen, it's always a pretty high chance.
Well, I'm actually really excited if we do see a Tusk. I'm going to be in for a treat, as well as everyone that is watching in not just Dota TV, but also in the Twitch channel. Night Stalker ban, I think I actually watched a couple of games with this Night Stalker. Is this a roaming Night Stalker that we normally see in the European division nowadays? Not just Join Dota, but in general games as well. I really haven't seen the full extent of this, but I've seen it to be quite successful so far.
Yeah, it is occasionally picked up. I know for Vega, or it's usually actually Screen's hero. He does the whole strength roaming thing. It's just a 4-position Night Stalker, and it usually actually does pretty well, and clearly it does well enough to warrant a ban in the first phase. So Flipside going to give Vega a little bit of respect there. Taking a look at the other bans really fast. Got Sniper, Storm Spirit, and Io being banned out. Vega really scared about being initiated upon. They're going to leave Batrider in the pool and decide to grab Eventual Spirit, essentially banning it out.
Yeah, Flipside, they get rid of the standard sniper. It's very strong, but wow, very quick picks actually by Flipside. They get the Troll Warlord and the Juggernaut, so already we've got some synergy between these two heroes. They both hit very hard. They both benefit from the battle trance as well, and they're not too bad. They work well with each other. The Healing Ward is going to be able to heal both of them up, and Troll Warlord, typically built to be that frontline kind of DPS. You don't really just build him up as a pure DPS hero unless he is the only one on the team. So I like the synergy with these two picks for Flipside, but Vega Squadron, they go for Venge, and wow, they're going to go for Zeus as their second pickup. Is this typically going to be a support Zeus, or do we sometimes see a mid Zeus?
I'm pretty sure it's going to be a mid Zeus until we see otherwise. I think that, I mean, Zeus is, of course, a very powerful hero, Eventual Spirit, one of the top tier supports, if not the top-ist tier supports in the game. It's powerful to start for Vega as that is. Flipside, they have two heroes that, as you said, already work very well together, but are also very self-sufficient in the lanes. Juggernaut, Troll Warlord, very rarely do they need help from their extra supports, and because they don't, Flipside, they're allowed to do greedy stuff. They can grab a jungler, they could have a Sand King just straight up jungle the entire time, or an Enigma, and their lanes won't really suffer for it. So Flipside off to a very strong laning start. And, well, of course, Zeus for Troll Warlord. As Troll, you're not going to be having the most fun, since being a Lightning Rod isn't what I would call enjoyable. It is an even enough lane, so that Flipside are going to be fairly self-sufficient, and they could still look for someone to go to that off lane, i.e. Clockwork, and who will offer them some initiation down the line.
Yeah, Clockwork would actually be an okay hero, but I suppose if you pick it up for Flipside, it's going to be difficult for the Jug to really jump on somebody that's cogged, I guess. Troll Warlord not really going to be in that position just because you can change from melee to range, so it's not too bad. We'll have to see what they want to pick up, though. Both teams going through quite a bit of their reserve time, especially Vega Squadron, just for the second phases of bans. They really have to take into consideration this second phase of bans, because if they let any heroes go by that actually counter out or pretty much help the opponent against what they currently have, because the issue is when you draft two cores so early, you're pretty much giving the opposing side a lot of time to consider how they want to draft around your cores and how that they might be able to play against them. Because if you look at Flipside, they've got a couple of opportunities to go for split push with the Troll and Juggernaut. They could just go for upfront team fights if they want to, depending on how they draft. And they're going to go for the Spirit Breaker as their third pickup. So this is probably going to be that roaming support Spirit Breaker that just goes for the charges just to be some sort of initiator. He's very scary to deal with, actually. If you look at Vega Squadron's draft, they've got two very squishy supports who will be vulnerable to that Spirit Breaker. I like the third pickup though. They go for a Beastmaster. They're going to have that Hawk to help scout out the charges from that Spirit Breaker.
Yeah, the Hawk would definitely help out a little bit, but even just seeing the Spirit Breaker is only just step one in countering him. Flipside do like to run the Spirit Breaker quite a bit, and they just have the really chaotic early game, charging all the time, let the Juggernaut maybe even get 1 or 2 extra points of that Blade Fury, and then just try to get those early game kills. And as you said, up against the soft heroes like Zeus and Vengeful Spirit, it is going to be very easy for them to get those kills, assuming they don't get interrupted with stuns. Burst damage on Vega Squadron is decently high right now, so though Flipside might want to be diving towers, they can also be sufficiently punished if they go a little bit too deep with that. They are also going to have no Lion or Dazzle as support. If they were really on this train of going for this super aggressive early stage, you need a little bit more guaranteed CC, and Lion was the hero that you want in that situation.
Yeah, there's still the Witch Doctor in the pool, I guess, but you've got to be very lucky with the RNG for the casks. So sometimes you'll get very lucky, you'll get the multiple casts on those 2 heroes, or unfortunately, sometimes you'll just get the creep-hugging casks where you hit the hero, hits the creep, and it just bounces between the creeps. But he is still there. Whoa, we're going to see a Rubik actually for Flipside. I actually don't mind this pick at all. They get some decent CC with the Rubik lift, and they're also going to have the chance to steal the Beastmaster role if Rubik does watch his positioning. And that's going to be great, especially if Vega Squadron decide to pick up a hero that is prone to picking up a BKB.
Yeah, all of Beastmaster's skills are fantastic to steal. Just grabbing a bird also is... that could pretty much secure you a team fight if you see the enemies coming, or, you know, it depends on positioning, of course, but for the most part in the early game, Rubik's just going to be a walking stun, and that's fine as well. You stun them once with the Rubik, stun them second time with the Spirit Breaker, all the while Juggernaut is spinning. Maybe you're not going to get a kill on the Morphling, who will be able to Strength Morph, and hopefully for the Morphling waveform out of there, but anyone else in Vega, they're going to be in for a world of hurt. So much so that even Flipside can go for an offensive tri-lane if they really want to, but Vega with the Morphling pick, I do like the timing at which they picked it up. They grabbed it as soon as it seemed like Flipside are going to be unable to grab an Ancient Apparition.
Yeah, he's one of the best heroes to actually counteract the Morphling just because of the... oh my goodness, I forgot the skill name.
The Ice Blast?
Not Chilling Touch. Yes, Ice Blast. I kept thinking of Chilling Touch. I was like, no, that's not the spell
It does
name.
chill though, so like
I guess
it's
so.
a chilling touch of Ice Blast.
Ice Blast sounds better anyway. But yeah, you mentioned that the timing for the Morphling, it seemed right. So Morphling will be picked up. But I suppose there are still other heroes that will make the Morphling vulnerable. Any sort of silence is going to help pretty much stop him from strength morphing and pretty much waveforming away. So that's one way to catch out the Morphling if they want to go in that direction. They still need to pick up one core, or they can pick up another support and have that Spirit Breaker sit in that position 3 and potentially go for an offlane with that. But I suspect it is going to be a support breaker. So what do you think they could possibly go for as a final core? They need an offlane. They've got okay CC. I would like to see more. You mentioned the clockwork. Magnus eliminated from the pool, so AA is still there. Vega Squadron not scared of the Ancient Apparition pick at all.
It is still a sufficient threat, but it seems like Vega just have Flipside pinned on that Spirit Breaker going support, and I think most of the time you're going to be correct if you're going to be making that assumption. I really like the mag ban out from Vega. I mean, Flipside, as you said, they need more CC to handle this Morphling now. It's a hero that demands stuns, silences, the likes. And as far as offlane heroes who have that in spades, I mean, there aren't really that many. Clockwork can do it for a little while, but Hookshot, it's not really going to get you any Morphling kills anytime soon. Phoenix is the pick for Flipside. That is not exactly going to be that crowd control machine, but man, Phoenix is looking like he's going to have a decent early game in that off lane. Although Vega Squadron, they could easily pick up a Scarith Mage, and then Phoenix is going to have a really bad game.
Faceless Void.
Oh wow, they're going to go for a Faceless Void instead. So, would you say it's a mid-Morphling, safe lane, Faceless Void, off-lane Beastmaster? I feel like that's going to be the best way Vega can really lane these heroes, but I feel like having Faceless and Morphling together is a bit greedy.
Yeah, well, Vega, they are going to give the Beastmaster the way of screen, so perhaps it's going to be, well, Well, I mean, I'm assuming it's going to be support Zeus and support Vengeful Spirit at this point. I have not seen Vega Squadron. First of all, with the stand-in, it's always going to mess up who plays what and stuff like that. And Screen, I haven't seen him play with Vega yet. He typically was the 4-position player on his previous team, Screen Squad, M5 International. So Vega, they might have accommodated that, but I don't know, offlane Void, mid Morphling, safe Zeus, or safe Beastmaster, or something like that. They have flexibility in their lanes, to say the very least. And Faceless Void, though he doesn't really have any huge amazing combos with his Chronosphere, no Chrono Death Ward or anything like that, is another hero that needs crowd control effects. And Flipside, they're going to be running thin on those.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe they're probably going to use the Faceless Void to help isolate Flipside, so that cut the team in half and potentially just pick off the heroes from there, because they've got a lot of tanky heroes. They're even running a Phoenix as well, so maybe they could just cut off the rest of the team while the Phoenix is in the Supernova, I suppose, to prevent them from being stunned up. There is a possibility. There's a lot of things you can really do with Vega Squadron's draft. It's just, can they get the farm on these heroes? That's the issue, because if you take into consideration the kind of heroes they're running, if you have a Morphling and a Faceless Void that doesn't have sufficient items to start the game, it feels like they can't really contribute too much aside from that Chrono from the Faceless and maybe just a waveform from the Morphling. That Morphling without items, he doesn't do anything for your team unless you somehow run him as what might be an offlane. 2 rings of protection.
Going to run into a couple of enemy heroes. Vega not summoning the bird yet, walking up the high ground. A little bit bold, but not punished just yet. There's going to be a little bit of a skirmish for these 0-minute runes, and hey, look, with a 30-second pause, it'll give us just enough time to see who's going to be playing what. On the Flipside side, Flipside side, Ace is going to be playing the Phoenix, seemingly towards off lane. Baby Knight is going to be handling the Juggernaut in the mid lane, with Unicorn on the hard carry Troll Warlord. Rise is going to be supporting as the Rubik, and that leaves Bland as the Spirit Breaker. Boots first, so that means aggression.
On the side of Vega, playing on the Dire side, on our Morphling, what seems to be an offlane Morphling as well. Oh god, how do I pronounce these names? Pashibashu on that Morphling. Up towards the top lane, we've pretty much got everyone else from Vega. We've got Screen on our Beastmaster, Seema on the Faceless Void, no one on the Zeus, and lastly we have the stand-in playing on the Vengeful Spirit. His name seems to be Undershock.
Alright, so we'll see how these lanes decide to shake down. Pashibashu, he's playing the Morphling on the bottom lane by himself. And racking my brain, can't really think of another time where I have seen this. He does have a waveform to escape, Strength Morph as well, very survivable hero, but this is not really a situation where you can expect the Morphling to be getting a lot of farm. Even though he does have double ring of protection, he does have a lot of armor. He's going to be going up against a lot of damage. He's not going to get a lot of farm, and a Morphling without farm, I mean, support Morphling is kind of a thing, but you don't really want to have a support Morphling not by choice.
Yeah, I think he's going to just become that utility Morphling while the Faceless Void actually gets that farm. And then once Faceless actually going to be jumping on the Aces, he was hit by the Fire Spirits, so Undershock taking a little bit of harassment there from the Phoenix, but Ace is going to be really low. He's got to be careful. There is no stun though. Surprisingly enough, Undershock goes for Wave of Terror, but he is going to be harassed out of lane by that Phoenix, so if they had the stun, they probably could have jumped onto Aces. But then again, I think at this point they're just trying to keep him out of lane as long as possible.
Yeah, it's only a level 1 Vengeful Spirit, and Phoenix does have very low base armor. Baby Knight can get a spin onto no one. That is looking to be first blood, although you can bottle up through that level 1. It's not going to be enough for Baby Knight. No one turns around, one arc lane, you can secure the kill, but here comes the cow, making it a 1-for-1 soon enough. Unless no one has a perfectly timed lightning bolt, which he doesn't. Bland with a couple more right clicks is going to clean that one up. 1-1 trade over in mid, but Zeus has got to be happy about that.
Absolutely, when you secure first blood as well. So he gets a bit of a bonus there, but we're just going to pretty much continue on with the normal laning phase for the moment. There's a little harassment thrown out into Pashibashu, dropping down to 2 tangos. So once he's actually down to those 2 tangos, would you think that he might go for bottle just to pretty much stay sustained in this lane? Because he really doesn't have that much regeneration to work with.
He pretty much has to, right? Like, otherwise, you can go for like a Ring of Health item, usually, or sometimes Lincoln Sphere is picked up on Morphling. This game, it will be exceedingly mediocre if he does decide to go for that, but he does need some way of sitting in this lane. I don't think there's any better way of doing it than the bottle, and I don't know if he's going to get value off of it. Ace on top is going to get dove pretty deep, but Icarus dive out. He lives at 50 HP, and oh, actually no one's coming in. Level 2 lightning bolt prepped, although one arc lightning kills him. My god, that did a lot more damage than I thought. Phoenix down.
Yeah, Phoenix, he's not really running any additional strength items. He's just got the ring of protection, so he's a little bit squishier than you would hope that Phoenix to be. He's only rocking 549 HP. That's really low for a strength-based hero as well. It's, you just touch him and he just breaks. Phoenix is essentially rice paper at the beginning of the game, but as he scales on with more and more items, he does do pretty well, but he is very vulnerable up until he gets that level 6, I suppose.
Second kill for no one, however. Here comes Bland, gets bolted out of his charge. That is pretty difficult to do. You have to see him coming first of all, and then you have to get the bolt casted in time. Not exactly the fastest skill to come out, but no one, even after going up to the top lane for an extra kill, he traded kills over in the mid lane, and he's still leading the way in the CS when you compare him to his mid lane counterpart in that Juggernaut. Now, granted, Juggernaut versus Zeus is going to be a pretty Zeus-slanted lane, but man, he's ganking top. He's still holding down the fort mid. This is going to be what looks like a pretty good game for this Zeus. He already has a soul ring and he already has level 5, so his burst damage is surely getting up there.
Yeah, this is the best thing you can ask for as a Zeus as well. He's very squishy. He doesn't really scale that well in terms of items. The moment he can't build any more items to really amplify his magical burst, that's it. Your Zeus is capped out. He's not going to rely on physical damage. He's very squishy. He's very vulnerable. You very rarely pick up anything like a BKB on your Zeus. You just don't want to pick it up at all. You rather go for the refresher, the eggs, the veil, everything to just amp up your damage. That's your goal as a Zeus. You just want to burst everybody down. So just having a good start means that he's going to be able to get those items faster and hopefully just really rock out that damage. And it'll pretty much force Flipside to consider if they want to kill the Zeus, they cannot afford to have anyone else nearby, because if they have a Chronosphere, if they have an adaptive strike from a strength-based Morphling, that sort of disable might be enough to actually keep him in place. And up top, though, there's going to be 2 heroes down for Vega Squadron and Bland. He's just going to TP out. Phoenix did go down, but Vega Squadron, they lose two very important, well, one very important hero in its support.
Yeah, pretty aggressive dive there. The Basil's Void, Vengeful Spirit, not exactly healthy to start things out, so Flipside with the Spirit Breaker and Phoenix, who both can get in the fights very easily, getting out a little bit more of a problem typically, but man, if they get in and then get those kills, they don't have to get out. So Phoenix, though he's not having the best of times, having those additional 2 kills, or I guess 1 kill, 1 assist to his name, certainly helps his offlane out just a little bit. Now level 4, and he's not exactly where he wants to be, but he's not going to do too terribly. No one going to get jumped by Bland one more time, but again bolted out of that charge. Baby Knight charging forward with the Omni Slash, but there's creeps here. He does get 1 slash into a range creep. Spin is probably going to be enough to kill off no one, it seems. No one, though, with the jukes, and Baby Knight lost track of the Zeus. Still going to chase down for this kill. Juggernaut slightly faster than no one. Bolt is up, but he's soul ringed for that, and he's just going to get punished. Baby Knight is going to die to the tower. This time it's the Juggernaut to get the slight edge in kills. However, in the same time, the Spirit Breaker was picked off by the Venge, making it a 2-for-1 for Vega.
God, the aggression, and it's only 5 minutes and 40 seconds into the game. So both teams, they're just trying to scramble as much map control and kills as they can, just to not just deny heroes their farm, but just to really slow them down, make them feel scared when they're on that map so that they don't overextend, they just do not get the farm that they want. They're going to try and jump onto Scream though here. Bland, there's the charge, it will connect. There's nothing to really stun him up though, dive from the Phoenix, so they're going to commit to the kill. This might be the death here of Aces. I think he is going to tick down to the Phoenix, but there's going to be the ultimate coming out from the Zeus, and actually Slayers, he's attacking way too slowly. Can Seema get the Phoenix? There's going to be a charge as well. Can they get the kill on the Void? The Phoenix will drop down, but Seema, he's stuck in the wall. He will get bashed. Oh, he heals up with a salve once, and he does survive, and this might be the end of Bland. They did not, basically Seema did not die. Oh my goodness, they committed everything to getting the Void, but they don't get him. That salve.
And at the same time, I don't know what happened on the bottom lane, but I guess it was just a rotation in from Zeus. No one got yet another kill to his name as he kills off Troll Warlord, but man, Bland is so freaking lucky. He got like 3 bashes in that entire fight. If that was me, I would get absolutely none, but even with that, the Thunder God's Wrath coming in really just swung that fight in favor of the Vega side. I don't know if Thunder God's Wrath was meant to help on top since they also killed off bottom, but either way, The Spirit Breaker getting so many bashes, yet just not enough. They're going to try to go again for round 2 onto Undershock. This Venge has no support. Let's see how lucky Bland is this time. No stuns just yet, but the Phoenix does have a dive, does have Fire Spirits, and Undershock is not exactly a fast hero to begin with. Vengeful Spirit will burn. That will be a kill. First earn charges for Bland, and that's a little bit unfortunate as well. If he was close enough to the Beastmaster when he did die, he would have gotten the earn charges that would have killed off Seema, but Phoenix's dots just not doing the damage fast enough that first time.
Yeah, very unfortunate there. But Bland going to continue on with the rotations. He's got his charge ready, but there's no one that's really easy to kill. Pashibashi is starting to actually get something down in the bottom lane. Only 2 CS though, compared to the 52 of Unicorn. So Pashibashi not really getting farm, but he is getting EXP, so it's not too bad. He's slowly building towards items. There was going to be the Thunder God's Wrath thrown up by Zeus. I think it's just pretty much for vision for his team. Trying to figure out where everyone is. They do see them, and well, not really much else to comment on that Thunder God's Wrath.
It didn't really cost him that much, so it's not the biggest deal in the world. So, however, it didn't really do much damage in the mid lane because Healing Ward is down. Axes plus the Wave of Terror, my god. The combos are real. Bland gonna get stunned in tower range. Deciding to take a pretty dangerous way to his team. Omnislash onto Undershock. Swap out, though. Undershock was already safe. It looks like he is going to be chased down by the Juggernaut at the exact same time. Ace trying to go for screen and no one at the same time. Supernova will not do jack. Undershock, in the meantime, will die, but not before getting a kill on Bland. No, the tower not doing enough. Now here comes Seema. Chronosphere onto 2. Will clean up the Spirit Breaker. Now he's going to try to go for Baby Knight. Needs some very lucky bashes if he's going to get that kill, and he won't. We will decide instead to bail on out of there. 1-for-1 support for support. However, Ace still not exactly in a safe position because there is a Zeus with level 4 Lightning Bolt right around the corner. He is not able to close in fast enough. So, after all, it is going to be, once again, just a fairly even fight.
Yeah, pretty even so far, but there's been so much space created for the bottom lane. The Morphling has not budged an inch, but I'm pretty sure at this point he says, okay, since the rest of Flipside are busy, I'm just going to try and grab whatever I can in the bottom lane. I'm not too sure what he'll go for though. I think he's just going to be the stun bot Morphling at this point. He's not really getting any farm. He's not going in the safe lane to grab it either. They're leaving it for the Faceless Void as well as what seems to be Squee. So they're going to give farm to a little bit of everybody, I suppose. Phoenix going to sit in the tree line, soak up the EXP from the creep wave. He might get caught out, though, if Undershock decides to go in this direction. Although, I think Undershock is just going to go for a stack at this point. TP in, and we are going to see Seema back in that lane with his Hand of Midas. I think that was just picked up as well.
Yeah, it's a pretty fresh Midas, so Faceless Void just going to go to work with that item. For this Morphling, it looks like it is going to be a Soul Ring build, I want to say. It is the ultimate budget build, but up towards top Ace. He's going to get jumped by everybody. Axes do miss because of the swap back, and that means Ace gets to live. I don't know if it would have been enough, but that swap didn't really seem entirely necessary from Undershock, yet Phoenix, he gets to walk away regardless. But yeah, back to the Morphling. He is going to go for a prioritized adaptive strike build. First time I've seen it in the casting seat myself, but the idea is you have enough mana, you dish out a lot of stuns, and if you max strength, you're just not going to be dying ever. So Pashibashu going to be that walking stun that I said Rubric was going to be, but over towards mid, no one trying to bolt out Bland. This time it won't work. Gets bashed as well and lifted. It can only work so many times before you mess it up, and that was bound to happen sooner or later.
They committed 4 heroes as well just to get that Zeus, but pretty sure Flipside, they're going to be happy that they got that. Look at the EXP they got from the Zeus kill as well. About 238 each. That was 4 heroes as well for that 1 kill. So very high bounty on the Zeus's head. So looks like there is going to be an easy tower here for Flipside. No defense from Vega Squadron. The tower's really low, 225. But there's going to be no tower trade-offs though. All the towers inside of Flipside, they're all relatively healthy. Bottom is untouched. Oh, I wanted to say untouched, but never mind. It did take a little bit of damage.
Well, they could very easily go to that bottom lane or the top lane and just destroy it. Top lane at half HP, and they're still sitting on the battle trance, which I don't know if it was casted yet. It didn't seem like it had a huge impact if it did, but even at this level, if you have phase boost on the Troll Warlord, he's doing some pretty decent damage, lots of attack speed because he maxed out Fervor. He himself just could tear down a tower, and if you have help from the Juggernaut, that tower is not going to be lasting long at all. They're going to be walking into a Chronosphere if they decide to make that play, however, and that's probably why they're not actively looking for that. But we do have Unicorn happily farming up the jungle until he realizes soon that there is going to be a smoked up Zeus here. Unicorn can get stunned forever by an adaptive strike. They don't have enough burst to instantly kill him off, however, and here comes the Space Cow. No one is going to be fine because the Space Cow canceled. Seema, though, going to get the Chronosphere onto Bland. He's all alone, though, doesn't really have anyone in range to help out just yet. Rise, going to get in there with a stun. Level 4 Adapt Strike, going to hold out Seema for a long time, but not enough. Seema's going to, Bland's going to die in the end. Ace is going to dive right in. Doesn't have enough mana for a Supernova, but here comes Baby Knight off to the side. One more ranged axe will kill off the Void. Now Rise, he's going in on a 1v3. Magic Missile will kill him off. No one in a bad situation, though. He'll die as well. It's a double kill for Unicorn so far, and well, for the up-team time in this game, it looks like it's once again going to be an even fight. Baby Knight, unfortunately, couldn't get in there fast enough to use an Omni Slash.
In all honesty, I'd actually make that favor Flipside. They lose essentially their 2 supports and they grab 2 cores, the Faceless Void and the Zeus as well. And Juggernaut getting a kill in the top lane on Squee. Poor Beastmaster. I think there was an Omni Slash as well. Yes, it was. So Baby Knight getting a solo kill. Vega Squadron, they're not doing too badly, but they're not far ahead. And with the kind of draft that they have where they're so farm dependent on some of these heroes, you'd rather be ahead than behind. Basically, there's no Mask of Madness yet on Seema. He's died twice so far. He's got the he's got the Midas, so he's got a little bit of extra attack speed. You'd like to see Mask of Madness eventually. He is trying to farm towards it, but I feel like they've been trying to fight so much with Seema that he hasn't really had the time to farm as much as he would like to, compared to the Troll Warlord, who has been committing pretty much 90% of his time to farming this game.
That's pretty unfortunate for Vega, because just in raw late game power, having this pseudo support Morphling means that their late game power isn't really going to be as strong as that of Flipside. Zeus does okay in the late game. When you compare Zeus to Juggernaut, Troll, Phoenix, even a Spirit Breaker, that's not going to be enough. Hashibashi's going to get jumped by everyone. Swap out, going to give him a little bit of space to waveform, but Ace is going to jump right in. This time he has enough mana for a Supernova. That'll kill off one. Can they get anyone else? Screen will get out of that burn radius, and he will be just fine. Once again, investing quite a lot for Flipside, but that's what their lineup is meant to do. Just dive right in and get those kills. And they're still farming up quite a bit on Troll and the Juggernaut. These are heroes that you don't want to be facing up in a late game scenario, and well, Flipside, they're getting slowly but surely further and further ahead. And Vega, it seems like they just don't have enough damage right now. They're going to do what they can to defend bottom, but with the Battle Trance pops, this tower is down. Rise going to waveform in. Blink forward from Seema, though, going to catch through in the Chronosphere. Rise off to the edge, will get picked off first. Baby Knight is spinning, so he'll be safe from any of that magic damage. Ace, though, he's stuck because he just used Supernova and he just used the dive, so now he's going to drop as well. That's 2 kills for Vega off of a pretty sweet Chronosphere. Again, Void would rather be farming at this stage, but when push comes to shove, he does have a level 2 Chronosphere, and they had to use it pretty effectively to defend. Though it didn't save the tower, it got them quite a nice fight.
Yeah, I got them 2 heroes. Unfortunately for Vega, the Phoenix Fire Spirits were just doing so much harm to Seema. He just couldn't kill anyone fast enough, even with the Hand of Midas and the Agility Treads, and he just thought, okay, I know I can't kill them, I'm just going to turn on this Phoenix instead, because we know he's used the dive. He's got no Supernova either, so he would have been the easier target rather than trying to chase some of those heroes on the side of Flipside. I actually wanted to note, during the earlier team fight, the stolen Adaptive Strike by the Rubik was causing so much havoc. This is a fight that happened 5 minutes beforehand, but Ace is going to get caught out. He just TP'd in, and he's going to die again, and that's within the span of a minute. Although there is going to be the turn. They're going to go onto Undershock on that Vengeful Spirit, but actually Pashibashi in the enemy jungle. But Flipside, they don't know this. They're going to continue on chasing after Squee as well as no one. Can they get them though? The charge is not really going to connect onto anybody. They're going to get lucky bashes onto Squee. They just need one to keep him in place, but never mind. They do finish him off in the end, but actually no one. He's isolated. He's by himself. Blink Dagger on cooldown. He will blink into the trees and he will TP out, so that's going to be a very safe Zeus. 2 for 1. I would be happy about Flipside, even though Phoenix is having a rough game.
Yeah, but, you know, Phoenixes always have rough games. I don't think I've seen a really good game for Phoenix ever, but yeah, I'm pretty sure the charge there, it was on an illusion at one point, and I must have not been looking close enough. It must have been a Morphling replicate, because he got out of that position behind the enemy tier 1 where he was safe, actually. Like, you're usually not safe there, but he was perfectly safe, and he got into a charge, so that is not where you want to go as a Morphling, and it just seems like this Morphling, as nice as it is to have that stun, I mean, it locked down the Phoenix for years. There was no chance of getting out of there, especially with the Vengeful Spirit coming in with that magic missile. That's all he does. He's a one-off hero, and the cooldown isn't really that long, but it just seems like Vega, after they use that to pick off one hero, they're just completely out of gas. They need to back off every single time, and with Flipside having so much mobility with the Sanjin Yasha Troll Warlord, with the Phoenix with the dive, Spirit Breaker, of course, has like infinite mobility, they can't effectively disengage and wait for their stun combos to come back up again, and that's where they're losing heroes.
Squeezer, he will be charged up. He was actually scouted up by Baby Knight, who just actually ran uphill. And there was actually the charge. It connected on Seema, but Baby Knight is so dead. No way for him to actually escape. And that Unicorn, he's going to go right after the Morphling. Barshu very low. He has a tiny bit of mana. He throws one adaptive strike. There's going to be the ultimate from the Phoenix. And Seema, he was going to try and kill the Phoenix. But can they get it? One more right click. They don't get it. Phoenix does finish up the Supernova, and that's going to be 2 kills. Zeus and Vengeful Spirit. Oh my goodness, Vega getting picked off time and time again.
Well,
they were on the aggression and they get punished.
Supernova, another one of those skills that's bound to land eventually. Chronosphere was only on one hero there as well, and for Vega, they need that extra lockdown to get those kills. As nice as it is to kill off that Juggernaut, that was supposed to be on the Spirit Breaker as well, but the Faceless Void time walked right into the path of the charge, and then of course ended up getting stunned because of it. So the Spirit Breaker charge, intentionally or not, was enough to buy the Juggernaut quite a bit of space, and it did jank up the Vega fight by quite a bit. Ace getting the Supernova was just the icing on the cake, but taking the Aegis and Roshan straight after, Unicorn also surviving that past fight. This Troll Warlord is getting more and more farm, and even though Vega, they still have years of stun to work with in order to kill this Troll Warlord, he's going to be filling up his item slots extremely quickly, and Vega just don't have anyone in order to race that Troll Warlord. You could try to get into a bash war with Faceless Void, but you're not going to win a bash race against a Troll Warlord and a Spirit Breaker. Way too many stuns.
Yeah, well, I guess it's just not the stuns though. If you look at Vega, they've got a decent lineup, but they just don't have the damage really. The Zeus is the only one that's really doing any sort of damage on their side. You've got the Beastmaster who's trying to provide actually no inner beast at all. So no extra attack speed aura. They're going to try and jump onto Baby Knight though. They're going to start off with the adaptive strike. Even going to throw the roar as well. They do get him, but there's me TP support Rise. Chronosphere going to be connecting only onto Unicorn. They do throw the adaptive strike onto the Zeus. There is a nice swap coming in from Aftershock, but I think this is going to be a dead Zeus. No way for him to escape. I think the swap actually was the bane of his existence, and they're going to go right after Aftershock as well. That's going to be 2 for 1, but Juggernaut for 2, I don't know, I don't want to call the Zeus a support, but it just kind of feels like he's fallen into that position at that state, in this state.
It definitely feels like that. Like, they have quote-unquote core Zeus, core Morphling, but really, are they doing anything more than a support? It doesn't really seem like they are. Zeus isn't really bursting out of people that it really seems like he needs to. He is 767, which is, you know, a pretty good score, but that 6 deaths really hurting him a bit, especially when you compare him to Unicorn's score. I mean, 1 death, that's night and day difference there. Juggernaut taking a fall, exactly not the best for Flipside, but still it's a decent enough trade because they get the tower following, and they're still looking at more towers up on the top lane where Seema is being charged. Baby Knight has an Omni Slash prepped and ready. If he uses it to cancel his TP, that might be a kill, and it will be cancelled. However, Seema, he does not have enough for a time walk. He already used it, but Bolt once again onto Bland will cancel that. Swap back into the tower. He is still Shadow Bladed up. Lightning Bolt will whiff. Baby Knight, Unicorn, and Rise all coming in. They're going to get left onto Undershock. Now they're going to go straight forward. Baby Knight with the double damage rune. Just needs a couple of hits, but he's a little bit too slow. There's 1. And with the Troll Warlord doing the rest of the damage, all he needs 1 more. That will be 2 kills. They will try to go for the Zeus, but a blink into the trees will keep him safe for now. Ace going to get in there with the Icarus Dive. However, he will get Adaptive Struck out of it. That's going to be just 1 kill for Flipside. They see the Zeus. Uh-oh, Zeus. Here comes the laser beam. No? No laser beam. Okay, well, they get the tower anyway. It's still a pretty nice fight for Flipside.
Yeah, actually, they pinged out his position. Oh, they do know he's there, so they're going to actually try and jump into the trees for this adaptive strike. Thrown it onto Unicorn, but that pretty much seems to be it. No one's still stuck in the trees, waiting for the TP to come off cooldown. 5 seconds, and then he's going to be out of that tree line. Nobody wants to be so close to the enemy.
Well, he actually has a position to wrap around to the enemy right now. He's going to bolt Ace, and then blink away in the trees, then get his TP off. This time it looks like he will get out of there safe and sound. That was enough to stall this push over on the top lane, and Flipside don't really have that much going for them in this push, except for their raw advantage. Sometimes that's enough, and sometimes you don't want to be risking that. However, Chronosphere down for not actually much longer. Seema is just low on mana there. So Vega, if they really want to defend this, they probably can. But I don't know, it just seems too risky for the reward. Faceless Void isn't even in this fight, and with Pipe going up, Zeus is suddenly doing no damage. That's not exactly where you want to be. Unicorn still has that Aegis. He's going to throw his axes every which way. No one is going to blink out of their charge. Is going to be cancelled. And after a lot of posturing, Flipside are just going to walk in, destroy 2 towers, and then walk out.
Thunder God's Wrath was thrown out, but that's pretty much just a scouting Thunder God's Wrath. They see everyone on Flipside retreating, and hopefully this is going to be a little bit of space for Seema to actually get some farm. 22 minutes, you're running a Hand of Midas on your Faceless Void, and he got that at what, 5 minutes or 8 minutes? He got it really early, didn't he?
It was a pretty early Midas.
Yeah, and he's only got the Mask of Madness treads, and he's going towards what seems to be a Maelstrom. At this point, you'd want that Maelstrom to be done by the 20-minute mark, but it's just been delayed time and time again by the fights. His team just can't make the space for the Faceless Void to have any time to really commit to farming, so he's going to have to always TP back, have that Chronosphere, and hopefully have it get some kills for their team, because they're behind. They do have a draft that can scale into the late game with this Morphling and Faceless, but if the Faceless can't get farm, and you have a Morphling who's in the kind of position that he is now, where he's just building utility items, the time that he's actually going to be able to maybe get 1 or 2 core items, it's where Flipside's going to have potentially 6 slot carries. And what's Pashu going to really do? Adaptive Strike, and that's it.
And he's, as you said, building all these utility items, and he's not even building them particularly fast. Because he is in this role for his team where he is pretty much just a walking stunner, he can't afford to go a lot into agility. He needs to keep a lot on strength so that he's always a sufficient stunning threat. If he does stay that way in mostly strength, he's not going to be farming very quickly. First of all, he's not really hitting that hard, and second of all, he's not really hitting that fast. And you have Waveform to clear, but Waveform's only level 3, so that's not even the best at getting creeps there either. So Morphling, though, usually is going to be a late game hero. In this game, I just don't see him getting there. If he was building something that doesn't involve a Staff of Wizardry, yeah, maybe he will be able to contribute some damage eventually. But Staff of Wizardry is not going to be that damage item for the Morphling, unless there's some Staff of Wizardry item that I don't know about that Morphling can use very well.
I think he's going for Yules. Yules is one of the more popular items picked up on this support/offlane Morphling, just so he has the mana pool to sustain the constant adaptive strikes and potential waveform that he needs to use. So, again, another utility item. I guess it's going to be okay. They are going to have a bit of a disable with it. If someone's being charged, you can Yules up the Spirit Breaker, or you can Yules up the Troll Warlord who is trying to bash up the Void or something. So, it might be nice. But this Morphling's going to hit like a pillow. Like, if you think about it, if he touches you, it's probably going to just be like a nice little tap. He's not going to do anything really in terms of damage. Unless he goes for something quirky like a Dagon, but that's just highly unlikely.
Dude, Shotgun Morphling, get the Ethereal Blade Dagon shotgun. They'll never see it coming after that start.
No, not even E-Blade, it's just Dagon. So it's still Shotgun, but
hey, no, you
Dagon.
gotta believe. You gotta believe he'll get farm, because there's not any more shotgun than that.
He's in a bit of a dire pickle at this stage. Pun intended, but anyways.
That was terrible.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Well, bottom lane, we have a smoke up. Will be revealed by Thunder God's Wrath. However, with the movement speed they have from the smoke and the charge, they're going to catch a charge onto Undershock, who does not have a chance here. He's going to get stunned up from the Invis Shadowblade of Bland, throwing a magic missile, but yeah, there really was no way getting out of there. Rise is going to take that kill and the minus damage, but for Roshan, not going to be up just yet. I don't really think Flipside care. They have a creep wave incoming, and they want this tower. As long as they don't get hit by a 3-4-man Chronosphere, it looks like this tower should be easy pickings.
I don't know, if you think about it, even if there's a 4 to 5-man Chronosphere, what can Vega do? They just don't have the damage to really follow up, even if there is that Chrono. If they had something like maybe a Scarith Mage or a Witch Doctor to provide them some extra damage for anyone that's caught in the Chrono, then maybe. But there is going to be the fight. Supernova thrown down. Pashu kind of stuck on the low ground. He won't get caught there, but Baby Knight going to continue on chasing after the Morphling. Adaptive Strike thrown out onto Bland, and there's going to be a nice escape there from the Morphling, and well, nobody dies, and that's going to be Supernova on cooldown for the next 90 seconds. Oh, actually, Troll dies. No, Troll gets a kill, sorry.
Yeah,
on the
dies. He was TPing in the trees. It seems like he just got stunned by a Supernova, which came out a little bit faster than he expected. That was a pretty nice disengage from Vega, but still, they lose a hero. They get a tier 1 tower, whoop-de-doo. No one really cares about a tier 1 on Flipside, because Flipside got a tier 2 tower, and that tier 2 tower for Vega is pretty darn important. They need that to contest Roshan. If that's ever in their plans, they're going to need that tower. No one up towards top is going to hit with every single Fire Spirit, and he's going to blink out, swap out actually, and it will be fine. Ace is the one to get bashed down, stuck in the Chrono. That's a nice turnaround, and for Vega, you don't really want to be using your Chronosphere like that, but man, beggars can't be choosers. They're going to get kills whenever they have the opportunity.
Yeah, they get 1k gold though out of that Phoenix kill, so it's not too bad. Phoenix kind of in a position. He thought he could have gotten the Zeus kill. I thought he was actually very close to getting it as well, but luckily for the Zeus, he does manage to survive. Zeus has gone for a Bloodstone. What's your thoughts on a Zeus picking up a Bloodstone? He's running a core. This is a core Zeus.
It's
what do you?
It's not a bad item on Zeus. Like, he is a very mana hungry hero. He does, well, obviously health is good on everyone, but I think in this particular game, we've said it like a million times right now, he needs to be a damage dealer, and Bloodstone doesn't exactly do that. Maybe if you could like try to drag some Flipside heroes away from the rest of your team, you'll, you know, add a lot more effective HP pool to the entire team, but I don't know, just the damage output of like an Aghanim's a Refresher, or maybe not a Veil in this game since they don't really have that much follow-up magic damage, but that just seems a lot more appealing. Maybe I just like seeing Zeus do large amounts of damage, but I don't really know if this Bloodstone is going to really help his team. I don't know if it's going to be filled. Blink in over towards the Roche Pit. Screen is going to take a lot of stuns, and with the Magic Missile stolen by Rise, that will be a very easy kill. They're going to chase forward for the Zeus, who already used his Blink Dagger. Whirling Axes will not see anything. But with that Beastmaster down, that means no bird. That means Vega are working blind. That means Roshan is going to be claimed by Flipside in a hurry. Chronosphere not up for another 15 seconds.
You're going to even have to commit the Thunder God's Wrath. Blink out by no one, and Bland did throw the charge. He was going to cancel it out. He has a Shadow Blade pop, so he's going to be safe for a little bit longer. But no chance for Vega to actually steal this Aegis, even if they wanted to. Undershock was in a very awkward position, going to be jumped on by Unicorn. There is a stun. Bland going to finish up with the charge, and that's a very dead Vengeful Spirit. Oh, this is a very tough game for Vega. A very tough game. They built a BKB on their Faceless Void as his item after that Maelstrom.
Yeah, that's not what you want to be doing. You want to delay the BKB as much as possible, because even though it's a necessary item in this game, because there are so many random magic skills, you know, being thrown about, there's still lots of bashing. There's still stuff that goes through that, so it's not even going to be the 100% escape, that get out of jail free card that he really wants it to be. With this Aegis on Unicorn, with this pipe, Flipside, they're going to do what they can in order to make this push happen. However, it's mostly an attempt to use this Aegis. Unicorn's going to get stunned out, Pipe is going to dissipate, and he's going to take a hell of a lot of damage. Waveform not even going to be enough, and with the healing ward there, plus the Urn Charge, Unicorn is going to be able to reset, rearm, and do the exact same thing all over again. It's just a matter of time before someone initiates, and if it's just Unicorn in the front lines, the Chronospheres aren't going to be enough. They need to get more than just Unicorn. We're going to dive in, have a Chronosphere opportunity for 2. We'll take it as well. Baby Knight right on the edge, so he can be attacked, but the Phoenix all supernovas at the exact same time. Baby Knight is going to get that, he's going to get dropped. Unicorn still has that Aegis. He's going to go straight for Seema. BKB not doing jack. Swap out. Seema still alive, and he will time walk away. Unicorn, though, he's still in this fight. He's going to lose his Aegis. Ace off in the back end is going to take a lot of focus as well. Gets stunned up. He won't be a part of this fight, actually, because he is stunned for like a million years. Dual Scepter on that Troll Warlord, and he has a Blink Dagger out, but he's instead going to try to fight it out with Pashibashu. No, he's going to fight it out with Screen. Here comes Seema, though, and you can't really afford to outrace that many heroes. And Flipside get absolutely freaking crushed. Chronosphere onto 2, onto the most important 2 on Flipside, and it worked out perfectly.
Did you know how much gold they got from that complete team wipe as well?
A lot. I would say 5,153.
5.1k for Vega. That was the best possible fight that they could ask for. They lose nobody, and they got the entire Flipside draft. So all of a sudden, with all this gold that Vega has, they're going to start being able to build these big items. I think Beastmaster just finished up an Aghanim Scepter, where I think he probably only had 1 component at that fight, and then all of a sudden he's got 3 pieces. Any other big items that we're seeing on this draft? Nothing really on the Morphling. Zeus has a piece
Seema.
for...
He's going to get
Sima.
dove. Charge is there, but the stuns are there onto Baby Knight. Sima's going to take quite a bit of damage, but he still has a time walk to get out of there. Omni Slash will buy the Juggernaut a little bit more room, but where the hell did he end up going? He's still there, actually. Ended up getting a kill on the Faceless Void. Now he's going to chase forward for Screen at the exact same time. Ace can do what he can versus the two supports, but Screen, he's the one being focused by the Flipside side. And Aghanim Scepter or not, looks like he's going to be going down. Rise, though, going to take a lot of lightning damage from no one. That heal from the Solar Beam a little bit too late. No one blinking forward, going to claim a double, in fact. And then he will cleanly TP out of there. And I think I've seen this fight before. It's 2 for 2 again, but Flipside this time even defend their tier 1 tower. So as nice as it is for Vega to get those kills and get those get that team fight under their belt, if they can't take the objectives, then what's the point of team fighting?
Yeah, bit of a loss there for Vega. They lose essentially 2 core heroes, and I guess they got 2 supports, but they're just support heroes. They didn't get the tower. Luckily for them, though, it's 2 HP off deny range. So Flipside going to have to leave the tower as is. They're either going to have to babysit it and wait for the deny, or they're just going to leave it and see how the creeps go about with that tower. Although, Unicorn, he is going to farm up the Ancient Camp. We do have a very, very brave Undershock on the Vengeful Spirit going in the top lane. He did go for a bit of a mission. He managed to plop down the Observer Ward up in the Radiant Hill, really, near the secret shops. They have some vision in that vicinity, but if you consider the location of the ward, a lot of the times these fights are happening on Vega's territory, so I'm not too sure if that's going to be helpful yet. Maybe if the fights are happening on Flipside side, but actually Bland going to try and go for a solo kill onto Undershock, but that's not quite going to happen. Actually, he's going to lose his life here. There is a very angry Troll Warlord coming in, but he's going to back up. He's got no more teammates nearby, and all of a sudden, there's going to be a couple other heroes chasing after that Troll Warlord.
Yeah, and that was because of this Observer Ward. For Vega, they don't really have much use for this Observer Ward, but in that particular scenario, just with the angles that it covers, like if Spirit Breaker charges anywhere in this top region, you will see him coming and you will be able to get heroes into position. The Spirit Breaker, I guess you probably can kill off a Vengeful Spirit 1 versus 1, but come on, what are the chances of Vengeful Spirit being alone in that situation? Seems pretty low at this stage of the game, so Spirit Breaker ends up running into his doom. Not really the worst hero for Flipside to lose. I think probably the risk is worth the reward in that sense. But for Vega, they are, for the most part, stabilizing. They're getting more items up. Sima the Slayer up to 3,400 gold after that BKB, and he's now going to grab a Demon Edge item. There's going to be a lot of green damage coming out of this Faceless Void, and it's probably going to be going towards an MKB with it.
Probably going to go for MKB, just in case there's going to be a butterfly pickup on either the Jug or the Troll Warlord. Both heroes, they don't always pick up the butterfly, but it's just in case they do prep for the butterfly, then they do have the Faceless Void who can pierce the evasion from that butterfly. So it's nice. It might even prevent them, not really prevent them, but just push them away from that item pickup, just because if you pick up a butterfly, you want the evasion. But I guess the only thing is there's only one hero to really worry about in terms of right clicks.
Baby Knight, he's going to get roared. Chronosphere in the backline is going to catch 3 heroes. Sima is going to save out the rest of his team from dealing with all those heroes. He's going to take a lot of damage in exchange. BKB is up, but it doesn't even matter. Ace is going to get in the middle of the fight with that Supernova. Screen's going to try to focus down, but he just doesn't have enough damage. Supernova will pop. He'll go right after the Zeus afterwards. That's going to be a double so far for Unicorn, still at full HP. He will get right on top of Undershock. Bash is going to prevent that Vengeful Spirit from escaping. That should be her doom as well. Screen, in the meantime, fighting up against the 2 supports, Rise and Bland, right on top of this Beastmaster. You'll Scepter from the Morphling going to buy him a little bit of space, but Unicorn's rejoining this fight, and Bashu, he's going to have to replicate out, does get further up the mid lane. He should be just fine, but Bland still chasing after Screen, and with that movement speed from the Spirit Breaker Shadowblade, Screen is going to try TP out. One more hit's going to do him in, and it will be there. It's a 1 for 4, this time in favor of Flipside, and the Chronosphere, as nice as it is for Vega, it held out the heroes, but it didn't actually get any kills. Unlike last time when they Chronosphered, got the kill on the Juggernaut, then we're A-okay to fight.
Yeah, so unfortunately for Vega, overstepping their boundaries, they do get punished for it. So all of a sudden they're on the back foot, because Flipside, they managed to get 2 very important items on their core heroes. They have the Phoenix with the Shiva's Guard, and there's a freshly picked up BKB on the Troll Warlord, actually in his stash, so he's going to pick it up very soon. Yeah, so it's coming on the courier right now. This is probably the time for Flipside to try and go high ground, because Chrono's going to come off cooldown pretty soon. But that BKB is going to really help out the Troll Warlord. It means that the Zeus is going to be pretty much a non-factor in terms of damage. I'm watching that mid lane. Bashu going to throw out that illusion just in case he needs to hang around to help his teammate and replicate out. But Everyone just retreats at this point. BKB though has been secured on Unicorn. What's he gonna do with this BKB?
Farm. Gotta get some community.
It's a BKB passive item farm.
Dude, the magic community versus like random centaur stomps, you never know what those centaurs are doing. Gotta be immune to that, but the Rubik deciding to 1v2, I don't really know why he was in that position. Didn't really seem like a great place to be, especially when you don't have any sort of mobility item on the Rubik. You need a Force Staff and or a Blink Dagger if you're going to be putting yourself in that situation. But again, Rubik dying for Flipside, not really a huge deal as long as they keep Unicorn alive, and Unicorn has been alive for the greater portion of this game. Bashu is still on the roam, has another 7 seconds until he's going to have to use his replicate or just lose it, and he will actually be charged. If he doesn't replicate out right now, he's dead. He still actually might be dead because he didn't replicate too far away. Bland's coming in Viz. He also has Troll Warlord coming in as well. They have the Nether Strike, and Bashu will dodge it with the Yule Scepter for now. Gets a waveform, maybe. No, gets bashed immediately. And Morphling is going to die all alone. They're also going to make a beeline now for the Roche Pit. They see the Vengeful Spirit wave coming in, so they know exactly where the Venge is. However, Vega have better intel. They have the Hawk in the air, and Flipside, oh, it doesn't seem like it matters. They're going to start the charge on no one, turn around for a bolt. Well, to interrupt the charge, didn't exactly land, but the charge was interrupted nonetheless. Flip side, they really want to secure this Roche Pit. They have to push out bottom lane. They have already pushed out mid lane. And for Vega, luckily for them, the Roshan will not be respawning right now. They will have a full 5-man crew if they want to contest this.
Yeah, this is probably the best situation that Vega can ask for in terms of that Roche spawn. If it was up, Flipside would have just definitely decided to take it out right now, either force the buyback from the Morphling or just commit to try and go for that Aegis. They are going to go for a smoke and they might run into Seema. He's farming the Ancient Cat, but they don't see him. They're going to go right after Squeen. He's going to have to try and run away, but never mind. Seema on the high ground. They do spot him. There's going to be the Rubik going after him, but never mind. They're just going to say Beastmaster is going to be enough for us. And unfortunately for Vega, oh, never mind. Faceless Void dies anyway. Juggernaut, Baby Knight getting the solo kill onto Seema. And this is probably going to be the opening for Flipside to take the Roshan once they realize that he respawns pretty soon. Actually, it's not even soon. They're going to respawn by the time Roshan's up. So
yeah, they're going to be
still good kills.
They're probably going to respawn by the time Roshan's down. It's like going to die immediately, or it should. Guys, Faceless Void and Juggernaut. Chronosphere does not play well with Juggernaut at all. Omnislash cutting right through that Void's HP pool, dropping a Chronosphere maybe out of panic, maybe just because he doesn't know, and that's not exactly how it works. Bashu is going to blink in, waveform doing pretty much nothing. And with no Chronosphere, well, first of all, they can't fight. They don't even have their Faceless Void alive for that additional bit of damage, but Tower's going to drop, and with the pipe going up, Zeus can pretty much do nothing. Bashu's damage output's going to drop to 0. He's going to blink right in to something. He's going to have to use himself, though, out of panic. Now he doesn't actually have an escape. He's going to actually Ghost Scepter up, Solar Beam, going to miss actually as it goes towards Undershock, but that will be a kill nonetheless. Thunder God's Wrath doing a little bit. Bland's going to take a Roar as well, but this is only a support Spirit Breaker that they're focusing screen. He's going to get stunned out, and he's going to be brought down in a hurry. At the meantime, in the Fountain, that's going to be 1 kill for Unicorn. Can't quite get the second kill on the Morphling as he takes an Adapter Strike to the Dome. He will take a little bit of lightning damage from this Zeus. Faceless Void does return to this fight. They have the Troll Warlord in a pretty vulnerable position right now, but Ace is going to get in there with the Supernova. Seems going to try to focus down, but Unicorn's there with the bashing. Will the Supernova save Unicorn? It's going to be close. He's at 20 HP. He's still surviving, and he will blink out to safety. However, Bashu is there. He gets hit with his own Adapter Strike. Karma, justice right there. Ace, he's still in the base, however, and he's not going to be as lucky as that Troll Warlord, but Troll Warlord got some Healing Ward juice. He's back in this fight. Going to get hit with the Chronosphere, however, but it's not really a great one because it's only Unicorn and Baby Knight's on the offsets. He's able to hit Faceless Void through his own Chrono, and that's going to be 2 kills for Baby Knight. Now chasing for a third. No one is going to do what he can. Throw some lightning towards the Troll, but with the Omnislash, that will be a triple kill for Baby Knight. Vega have a buyback on the Faceless Void, but Faceless Void needs like 3 Chronospheres if he's going to clean these three heroes up. This is going to be 2 lanes of Raktus for Flipside, plus they could go right into the Roshan pit afterwards.
God, they were so close to getting Unicorn. He has to be very thankful there was a Phoenix on his team. If he did not land that Fire Spirit on the Morphling, that would have been a very dead Troll Warlord. But he survives on the tiniest sliver of HP. He gets out, heals up just enough, and luckily for them, they just suddenly turn on to Vega and they say, "Ha, bad luck, you didn't get me this time, I'm going to get you this time." So, Flipside, so grateful that Phoenix pick.
The Phoenix and the Juggernaut both, like, Healing Ward is a really broken skill if you're not able to kill it off. And Troll Warlord, because he has gone for such a tanky build in this SNY the Eye of Scotty, even the Blacking Bar adds a little bit of health. He's at 3,000 HP. He's able to regenerate a hell of a lot with that healing ward with just a couple of seconds. Vega, they're going to make a desperation move. They're going to try to snag this Roshan, but they see Screen Bland. Going to get the charge, and he's going to hold that screen for the rest of the fight. In the meantime, Undershock, he's going to get torn to shreds by Unicorn and Baby Knight both. Seema has got to get the hell out of there. He will try to help out his Beastmaster, and he will do so, but Beastmaster is already disengaging from this fight. Solely beyond to Bland will try to keep him alive versus Seema. Not quite going to be enough, but the Cheese and Aegis are now claimed by the Flipside side. Ace is going to get up to the high ground, but the push is going to push Demon Slayer also up to the high ground. He can't get any hits onto Ace, though. Trees are going to be destroyed by the axes, but in the meantime, the Morphling's caught by his friendly Chronosphere. He'll die just to the Baby Knight. Double damage rune, of course, helping out there because that seems fair. 2 kills in favor of 1. And Flipside, they still have a cheese to get, but they want more. Blink forward from the Troll is going to get right on top of this Zeus. No Blink Dagger for him, and he's going to tap out before he even dies. That's a 3-for-1 for Flipside, and they are going to take game 1.
Oh my goodness. It looked like Vega, they had a chance to come back into that game. That one complete team wipe on the side of Flipside. That looked like their one glimmer of hope to come into the game, but Radiant side, so strong. Not playing greedy. They got counter kills, they got pickoffs, they just went straight for objectives. So great plays by the Radiant side. Unfortunately Vega, I think their draft is a little bit too greedy this game, running a offlane Morphling compared to a more traditional offlane. I don't know, it's really hard to suggest really what they could have had, but they needed so much more damage to really synergize with their draft. They had a Zeus, so Zeus was a step in the right direction, but they went for Beastmaster and Morphling, but I don't know, it's very hard to say.
Well, this is a best of 3, so hopefully for Vega, they'll step up the damage department in Game 2, which we'll be going to in just a little bit, guys. So don't go anywhere. Game 2 between Flipside and Vega is going to be coming your way very shortly.